Although there are notable and important technical differences between personal flotation devices and life jackets, for the purposes of this video, the general term personal flotation device, abbreviated as PFD, will be used for simplicity to describe flotation devices. When it is essential to identify the important technical differences between the devices, the correct technical terms will be used. PFD, Life Vest, Life Jacket. Whatever you call them, they are the single most important piece of safety gear for boaters. Simply said, PFDs save lives. Statistics show us that the more than 75% of boater fatalities are from drowning, and nearly 87% of those who die from drowning were not wearing a PFD. Isn't that reason enough to buy a good quality PFD and wear it always? Boating is a sport, and using the best safety gear available is essential. PFDs come in a variety of shapes, colors, and materials. Some are made for water sports, some for paddling, while others are made to protect you from cold water. Be sure to get one that is right for you, your planned activities, and the water conditions you expect to encounter. Whatever you're into, there is a PFD for you. All newly manufactured U.S. Coast Guard approved PFDs are required to have a pamphlet attached to the device providing information to help you select the best device for your activity and environment. Please take a few minutes to read the pamphlet and make sure you are selecting a PFD that is appropriate for you. Always read the inside label of a PFD for restrictions, size, weight, and U.S. Coast Guard approval. Most PFDs are made for general boating activities, but some are only for specific activities. Always check the label to determine the type or level of your PFD. Doing so will ensure the PFD is appropriate for the intended wearer and activity. The PFD must be of the appropriate size for the intended wearer, in good and serviceable condition, and be U.S. Coast Guard approved. Serviceable condition means the PFD is free of defects, such as missing or waterlogged flotation, or broken zippers, buckles, or straps. Fabric must be without rips, holes, or weather damage, and seams must be tight. Special attention should be given to inflatable PFDs, which should be inspected and maintained routinely per the manufacturer's recommendations. If there are restrictions, such as not for towed water sports, white water, or when on a personal watercraft, abide by the label. If buying or borrowing a used PFD, be extra vigilant when inspecting the device, especially inflatables. User beware. After purchasing or borrowing a PFD, test it out to make sure it floats you well. To ensure the PFD you select fits properly, do the following. Put on the PFD, ensuring all straps, zippers, and ties are fastened firmly and correctly. Make sure it's tight enough so that it will work properly when in the water. An adult should help a child don their PFD to ensure a snug fit. PFDs are separated into 4 broad categories based on weight: adult, youth, child, and infant. In order to select the appropriate size PFD, read the label. Ensure the user is within the weight range printed on the label. Just because the device is labeled youth does not mean an adult cannot wear that PFD. Some adults need to wear a youth PFD due to their size. Conversely, a 12-year-old that weighs 170 pounds will need to wear an adult-size PFD. There have been changes in the construction and testing requirements of PFDs. From the 1970s until 2018, PFDs were only listed and marked as type devices. Now, along with type devices, there is a new category of PFDs classified as level devices. There are 5 types of PFDs, but only 4 are wearable: Type 1, Type 2, Type 3, and Type 5. Type 1 PFDs are for offshore use. They provide sufficient flotation to keep most adults turned face up, even if unconscious, and can be used for non-swimmers. Type 2s are near-shore PFDs and provide a minimum of 15.5 pounds of buoyancy. They will turn some unconscious persons face up in the water. The Type 2 is an excellent choice for children, especially those models with a crotch strap and a handle at the collar for added safety. Inflatable Type 2s are also available. Type 3s are known as flotation aids. They provide a minimum of 15.5 pounds of buoyancy. They will not normally turn an unconscious person face up in the water. Type 3s include both inflatable and traditional type PFDs. They are the most versatile and comfortable type of PFDs and are an excellent choice for most boating activities, including personal watercraft, water skiing, wakeboarding, tubing, paddle sports, hunting, and fishing. Type 5s are wearable special use devices. They include hybrids, some inflatables, and survival suits. Some Type 5 PFDs must be worn to meet carriage requirements. Throwable devices are classified as Type 4 devices. Type 4 throwable devices are for special uses, such as man-overboard situations. They include seat cushions, ring buoys, and horseshoe buoy styles. They are designed to be thrown to a person in the water who would then grab the throwable, put their arms through the straps, and hold the throwable against their chest. At least one throwable PFD must be on most boats 16 feet or longer, in addition to the required wearable PFD. Throwable PFDs must be immediately available. Level devices are classified as follows. Level 50. Intended for use by those who are competent swimmers and who are near a bank or shore, or who have help and a means of rescue close at hand. Level 70. Intended for use by those who have help or a means of rescue close at hand, or who are near a bank or shore. These devices have minimal bulk but cannot be expected to keep the user safe for a long period of time in disturbed water. Level 100. Intended for use by those who may have to wait for rescue but are likely to do so in sheltered water. The device should not be used in rough water. Though not always required by law, a PFD should be worn at all times when the vessel is underway. A wearable PFD can save your life, but only when you wear it. Wearable PFDs must be readily accessible. This means a person must be able to access and put on a PFD quickly in an emergency, such as a vessel sinking, on fire, etc. PFDs should not be stowed in plastic bags, in locked or closed compartments, or have other gear stowed on top of them. Throwable devices must be immediately available for use. Federal law requires all children under the age of 13 to wear a PFD at all times while the boat is underway, unless they are below deck or in an enclosed cabin. If the state you boat in requires children of a different age to wear a PFD, the U.S. Coast Guard will accept and require what the state law stipulates. Check the state law to ensure compliance. If buying a new inflatable PFD, it's really important to read and follow the manufacturer's guidance. An inflatable PFD, including the inflatable components of a hybrid inflatable, must be equipped with a properly armed inflation mechanism, complete with an unused CO2 cartridge and all status indicators showing that the inflation mechanism is properly armed. The inflatable PFD approval label will give guidance as to the age limitations. The label will also indicate activities for which inflatable PFDs are not allowed to be worn. Specifically, personal watercraft and towed water sports such as water skiing, tubing, wakeboarding, or while boating in white water. Each person on board a personal watercraft must wear a U.S. Coast Guard approved PFD, and in most states they are required for towed water sports. Check the state law to ensure compliance. Check the label on your PFD to ensure the device is approved for PWC and towed water sports. Accidents are never planned, so always wear a PFD when on or near the water. Attempting to put on a PFD after you are in the water is a tiring, extremely difficult maneuver, especially in a situation where the water is cold, the waves are high, or you have been injured. Law enforcement officers and boating experts agree that everyone should wear an appropriate PFD even if there is no legal requirement to do so. There must be a wearable PFD for each person on the boat. It must be U.S. Coast Guard approved, in good and serviceable condition, of the appropriate size for the intended wearer, and it must be readily accessible if not worn. Enjoy the water but stay safe. Wear your PFD.